All right. Good afternoon once again. Uh, in our last class, we were trying to carry out one modification, and we had an issue. And later, let me run the program. Maybe you. And so let me start up the workbench. So this is the program we have developed, and we want to the aim is to create a data capture for local government staff. So this now, if name is written here, let's say for example if you write Victor Mabusai, is it Victor? Look at this spelling. Is it correct? M-E Mabusai, right? There is S. There should be S here, right?
Yes, sir.
And if I select any of maybe say Soba and I click on register, it is expected that this, alright, it tells us that data captured, thank you, for example. Then let's check the database server via our workbench client, the MySQL workbench client. The first thing is we want to see the databases. We write show databases, right? If we run this, it executes, and then we look for our database, which is this cat IHR DB. So we say use makes it what? It makes it active, right? So we show tables. These are not what do you call commands to you. So this is the table. We're having only one single table. So let's check. Okay, we want to see the content of the table. So, and I click. I hope you know the difference between these two buttons. This executes everything. It executes all commands from where your cursor starts down to the last. Well, this one, the one with the cursor here, it executes only command at which the cursor is positioned, where the cursor is situated. If I place a cursor here and I click on this, it executes only this line. Again, for this, if you highlight given number of lines and you click on this execute selected portion, it will execute. But if you do not select any, it will execute all. So please, while you are working with a workbench, you don't allow any risky code within. Code that has to do with modifications, update, deletion, and dropping. You remove it, or to when you need it, you use it. And so let's look at this is what we were trying to do last time, and there were issues because I made use of a wrong variables, and let me explain it here. But now it's working correctly. What it's doing is to pick the name. It will insert the name, but the PSN number is going to be created by concatenating only 2-3 letters of the local government plus the ID. It concatenates 3 letters. It will pick 3 letters from local government SOBA, for example, and then it will pick also ID of the. It will concatenate with the ID we are having here. So you have your PSN number. And the way I have done this is this. The first thing here, this is the mistake I did. I was picking PSN. It's supposed to be, it's supposed not to be the PSN. The first, what I'm supposed to store under this PSN, that is column field 3, which is this here. The first thing while I'm inserting is to pick only 3 letters, 0 to 3, and then I added the space I padded the space, I match it, and then I picked, and later I update, and the update is done immediately. This is what I did the other time. I updated after doing everything. Okay, so I now updated immediately. Here, let me now write a comment here. The PSN column update start here. I don't know if the correction done is understood. Yes, and then here I only concatenate only two things, and that is it. Actually, that day I wasn't okay. I was feeling something. But when I look at it for the second time, I was able to do it. So there are things we need to understand here. If you are developing something for some users. And now let's look at the first thing here, and we correct this problem. You see, I've clicked on it, and it has done everything, but the data are still there on the UI. A non-professional user could just click again and it will insert again. Yes, of course. Let's try it. This is our database, right? We have column, row number 4 is this Victor Mabusai. If I click again, it will run it again. It will keep running. It's been executed, so let's run the query and see what will happen. Can you see? Which is wrong. We are capturing one person more than once. It is totally wrong. It is wrong. So what do we do to curtail this? What you do is immediately after the insertion, you wipe away the data. So also there is something, this is the first thing. So also within the data we collected, we need to pick up, or we need to collect something. This is the lesson of today. We need to have a unique identifier within what we are storing. So we need either an email or a phone number, so that we can even search from the first time, from a first instance, whether the person with this email is in existence, it existed in the database. If it is there, then we deny any further data capture for such person. But the first thing we do right now is to temper the database model. All right. Let's add the two, email address and the phone number. And so also we're going to do this immediately after the insertion. We're going to create a method. We call it maybe clear. Immediately after insertion, we clear everything. Okay. These are the two things we need to do for the first time. So this is now Workbench. I want to temper the configuration, or rather the modeling of the table called data capture. The first thing I do is to go back to the model. This is the icon for the model. If you click on it, you try to locate a model for the database, right? If you click, this is the model. So it opens to this. We have only one single table, right? This is the table. If I double click it, it opens like this. So this is where we have done is it visible? Let me magnify it so you see it clearly. Can you recall this environment? This is where we have done the work. This is where we have done our modeling, right? So I want to introduce two more columns. The first column is phone number. So I need this phone. I can just say phone. and it is not null. Not null means it cannot be null. It needs data to be populated. All right, there are some things that are optional. For example, if I say from number 1, from number 2, or primary phone number and secondary phone number shouldn't be mandated, shouldn't be mandatory. But primary phone number must be populated. All right. So let's go by this. That's the meaning of not null. And up here we had one single primary key, and it was 0 field, and at the same time auto increment, right? You see, this is a very simple way of creating a model. Yes, you'll be selecting, and the workbench will be doing things for you. So for this, we know for phone numbers, I think we should temper this. 45 is too much. We use 11, but then there could be situation whereby country digits are needed. All right, 234 plus 234, for example. Let's make it 15. And I deliberately made it VARCHAR. The idea is this: you make for any field that you are not going to use for calculations, don't make it numeric, because you run into issues like this phone number. Maybe a client might say, okay, now we're having requests from outside from abroad, and we want you to include country code. And if you want to include country code, you have to include the plus sign. So in numbers digits are only 0 to 9. You don't have plus sign. Plus sign is only found in VARCHAR, which is string or variable character. So you have to be careful. If no calculation is not going to be conducted in a given column in the database, you don't make it numeric. All right. Then email address. I can just say email, so not mail, and that's all. I can click out, okay, and then I'll save the model. I've done changes. Before saving, you see one asterisk over here, okay? It tells you that changes have been done and they were not saved. So then I'll go back to where I write queries, that is the SQL queries, and I'll drop this database for me to push this model to create database for me for the second time for the effection of the corrections done. Okay, so this is the DB. I don't know, the system tends to be slow when you're on a magnifier. I think I have to look for a third-party magnifier tool. Or rather, let me exit the magnifier so we don't waste time here. Okay, so this is the DB. If you check from what we have done is not affected here. The DB is intact and not affected, okay? But then I'm going to drop database. Of course, when you say drop, you need to specify what are you dropping. You may drop to database, you may drop a trigger, you may drop a function, you may drop whatever, a table or anything. So you have to specify. So you see, this is a risky code. Immediately you see I erase it, and then if you check now, it tells you that database not found. Okay, so it's not dropped. This is a way for you to check whether it has been dropped or not. Okay, so it tells you there's no database is not a name. The schema is not found. So that means it is dropped. So you click on database and click on forward engineering. Where is it? Database. Okay, sorry, it's like there's a problem somewhere. Okay, sorry. So back to the model here. You come to the model and click on database and click on forward engineering. And you know, by forward engineering, we mean it's going to create, from model you create database. That is forward engineering. At times, you may have a database and you don't have the model, because if you want to carry out corrections on the database, you need the model. So if you have the database and you don't have the model, then you do what we call reverse engineering, and it will reverse the process and it gives you the model. Okay. Right, it is done now. So let's check. From database to model, reverse engineering. From model to database, forward engineering. Okay, I have to use database. Okay, then I check from the table. I will see now because I've dropped the database itself. Alright, can you see the corrections? Modifications have been carried out. We have ID, name, PSN, and what? But you know, this is only on the model and the database. Our code, our Java code remain as it is, right? The source code we have in Eclipse remains. So when you run, let me now write soft1. Please, those of you that are connected, you disconnect, remove the charger. Then it's okay. Safwan Abdullah, right? So let's select maybe Zaria for this person, and then we click on what? Register. You see, you need to perfect these interactions between this, what we call embedded SQL. You are writing SQL to the database, but you're writing it through a host language. You're writing it within Java, that is the host language. So it's an embedded SQL. Okay, there is a problem. That's why, of course, that's why you did not see something here. There is an error because let's check. Of course, there should be an error. Can you see? That's very good. Can you see the error? It says column counts does not match value count. Please, who understand this error? It tells us that the column you are having in your database is more than the value you supplied from your code. Because we are having only how many? About 5 columns or 6 columns? 6 columns. But there I did not make any changes in the code, and I'm trying to understand. You see, this is the problem. So let's do the corrections. Let's carry out the corrections somewhere here. Come to the Java code here. Come down to where, and you see, let me make this correction. I'm supposed to be having this exception as in form of JOption pen, not just as a console. That's why I did not show. So the error here says what? Error in this, right? This is the arrow plus E2, arrow in this, and then you plus you concatenate the exception itself. So I hope you understand what I've done. This is where we are going to add what we have added in the model. The first thing is phone number. Set string. What? Set string. Okay. The parameter is parameter 5, the counting, and here we need to grab what? Phone number. Okay. In fact, the correction is not even from here alone. It's right from our UI. Right from our UI. Let me comment this. I need to introduce two columns, one for phone number and one for what? Email. So let's do that quickly. Come over here. They are TXT, right?
Yes, sir.
TXT. They are TXT. Let me do it from top here. Okay, this is a label, right? So for the label, I will introduce label LBL what? LBL phone. Thank you. I can say phone. LBL phone, and also LBL email. Thank you. Then to the TXT, I need to introduce two also. TXT phone and TXT email. You know, we're going to start drag and drop later, because this looks somehow, if it is a production environment, maybe you might not be able to finish on time, but for drag and drop, you just drag and drop your variables. And so for these, I'm going to reduce this to let's say just maybe 8, and for the email. So what are we doing here? Initialization, right? And okay, the first one should be phone number, right? So we are initializing phone. I think I use capital. Yes, I use capital here, and I'm supposed to be consistent. Okay, so this is done. Then we add them on what? On the panel. Thank you. So this is the panel, and this is the last thing here we're having. Before we're going to add them before these two buttons, or even before the local government, right? Yes. So before local government, this is LGA, right? So from here, I'm going to add panel.add a component, right? And the component here is LBL. Sorry, I'm supposed to add from, yeah, it's okay. LBL phone. You know, immediately after the LBL, then you add what? TXT. Thank you. TXT. Then email. Then what? Nathan, are you understanding these things? Are you sure? And when I asked you to do something, okay, like I did not, okay, let me see, like I have an error message here. Let's go through the error message. It tells us what? Cannot read field parent because comp is now implement, okay. There's something, I think I did not initialize the labels. That's why all labels were not initialized. I only initialized the text the TXT, the two TXT, but the labels were not. That's why it's giving me that. So let me initialize the labels. LBL phone. Thank you. And then this is what user sees, right? So here you write phone. Okay. LBL email, right? And this is what the user sees, the label, email, right? So let's run it. Right, it's okay. It's not okay. I think I will increase this so I have all the two buttons down here. So come to the set title, set size, right? This is the set size. Let's make it 80 here. $980 I think will. Alright, it has done what I wanted. So then let's go to the functionalities of the button to connect the two fields we have added and to insert in. This is where we have collected our strings. String phone, right? String phone, capital. It depends how you want it. TXT phone. The get text. This is what get the text from the user. Alright, since it is not console, it is a GUI. Then you now say that what? When you get this text, it is not in the form of string. It is a text field. Then you convert it to string. Okay, after conversion to string, then it is now okay with the type you are having. You are having a type of string, a variable declared with type of string, and conversion is being done. Then now email equals to TXT email. It's like Nathan is not understanding this. The get text, the what? String. Nathan, you are not grounded in Java. You need to have an environment that will enable you to. Alright, so now back to what I've started doing here. I want to insert the parameter 5 is what? Is a phone number, right? And PS, that is prepare statement, the set text. Sorry, set string, not text. The set string number parameter 6 and what? Email. Thank you. Capital letter, right? Yes. IntelliSense has brought it for us. So we're done here. Now let's try it. This is the correction. So if you check Shamsu, what's your full name? The other name? Shamsuddin, right? Adam? Aliyu, sorry. Aliyu. Phone number 08050390221, for example. Email shamsu@gmail.com. Local government, say Giwa, for example. You click on add. Okay, it tells us that what? It's greater, right? Greater number than parameter, which is 4. So let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So see now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's something I did wrong here. Set string 1. Okay, sorry, I don't know why I'm so much eager to finish this. Now look at the language, please. You see, this language is different from the other one. It says what? 5 greater than which is 4. You are having four parameters and you are trying to implement 5. Okay, but the other one says value count does not match what is it? I forgot the other thing. Value count does not match is it parameter or something? So here it's referring to the placeholders here. You need to increase these placeholders to 6 and you are done. So run it now.
The reason why we increase it
because we've added, of course, it has to be the equal number of what you are inserting has to be populated there, the placeholders. Because here you know we said asterisk is a placeholder, question mark is a placeholder, hash is also a placeholder. It's representing something there, and that thing you do not know it until at the course of execution. You understand? That's why we are using prepared statement. So here. Okay, name first. Shamsuddin Aliyu Mustafa, right? Okay. What's your third name? 08050. I don't want to write your phone number, so people in the YouTube, so no one should call you. But that's why I'm writing. This is my former number. I stopped using it. Yes. 08050 39 0221. Glo confiscated this number from me. Email shamsu@gmail. Please, one of your assignments is to check on how you validate email validation, because we need to validate. So phone number validation, right? How do you validate them? These are one of the assignments you're going to. Validations of emails. You can use regex, regular expressions, to validate, to make sure that you have 11 characters in the phone numbers, as with regards to Nigerian phone numbers, and also you validate email with regex. Make sure that you have an @ symbol and .com, right? Or @ symbol and a domain name, not only .com. Could be dot anything. So let's click and see what the result. Are you ready? So it tells us what? Data captured. Thank you. So let's check from the DB here. Can you see what we have? It has been captured correctly, right? Everything is correct. Everything is correct. So now that we're having things in form of unique identifiers, so I'm going to correct one thing I wrote here. What I said is insert this tuples for me. Immediately after insertion, you check whether something is done. This is the reason. You know, we've explained here last week, right? When we say if count is greater, because at any moment database stores something, it creates some count. So some rows. That's why as it's creating the rows to be keeping it here as an int, right? 2 rows, 3 rows, whatever. So if it is 0, then nothing has been done. But if it is greater than 0, something has been populated. This is the meaning. So now I want to update here using what Nathan is just hearing this. Nathan, you're not sounding programmer. I don't know. So here I capitalize on name. I'm editing this column, the PSN number, based on name, which is very, very, very incorrect. I'm editing it whenever the name is Aliyu. I'm editing it to that. So now let's do something here. This is incorrect, because if I have same name as it is here, then there's going to be a problem, because it's going to edit 2 rows with one single PSN number. So let's try it. So we already have it here. We have Aliyu, right? Look at it. Let me click on it again. All right. Then let's check from the database. Can you see what happened here? It keeps updating this one because I mentioned Aliyu. to keep updating it. Are we there? So it's wrong. What you do is to edit the role based on a unique identifier, like phone number, email, because your phone number, it's only yours. No one can take it unless if you stop using it or something. Or email address is only yours. In fact, let me even go for email address. So from our source code here, you make it email address. Where what? Where email? Where this? Where this column? Where this column? So this is the correction. So also I want to clear everything. Whenever a correct insertion is done, I want to clear everything from the UI. I want to clear everything from the UI. I want to clear this, all this. So let me create a method and give it name. This I just left it for you to know that I've removed the source code from here, and I moved it where the insertion is done there. One single try catch can carry out the exercise or the implementation. And this is the end of this method. So I will quickly create a method here called public clear what? It's going to be void because I'm not going to return any value. So clear let me say clear method. Okay, so this is it. It's a non-parametric method. End of the method. All right, are we there? So I'm going to call all those things, all the parameters I used. I'm going to call them here and I will erase them. Are we there? I don't want to write the source code here immediately after insertion. That is here. Clear all variables. Okay, this is where I went to, but then I don't want to write it here. I prefer writing it in a given method. But then if I want to do that, I have to do some things here. Name is a local variable, right? This is also a local variable, right? Is it? All these are local variables. So if I pick them into the method, it's going to be a problem. Yes, of course. It will not see it. It can't access them. So what I will do is I will declare these things as kind of, what is that? The one with del can disconnect. You remove right from the source because it has a battery. Is your phone, your laptop, is it connected? Okay. Go off the light in. Have you removed the charger?
Yes, sir.
From the... Well, so I don't know really. Okay, remove mine. I've even forgotten. Okay, it's alright now. Sorry for the distraction. So what I'm trying, look at what I'm saying. I want to make use of this name into that. So if I pick name into this method I've created here, for example, and I want to say name, the set text, this is how to null it, right? Set text to null. Can you see error message? Why? Because the concept, scope, not concept, I'm sorry, the scope, this name is not under the scope of this method. The method doesn't know about it. It was declared, it is a local variable. That's why it is colored black. This. So I want to pick this name. I want to make it global variable here, like a class variable. Okay. Then if I do that, I will have to do away with this declaration. Sorry, I'm trying to come back to the place. Okay, look at it. Then I will remove this declaration. It will change. Can you see it has changed to a global variable, a class variable, something? Then if you check from what we have created down here, the name is okay, sorry, it is a variable. Let me just say this is the proper way of setting variable to null. Can you see what I've done? So now I've made the name. You know, I don't want to just do this without you knowing what I did. I made it class variable. Class variable can be accessed by everyone. You say, let's say global variable, you can access it anywhere instead of local variable. Okay? So I want to do send to staff ID and to the phone email and to LGA. So what I will do is to remove all this. Of course, you may have some error messages here. So staff ID, LGA, and email. Let me quickly do it there. String LGA, string phone, right? Is it? And string what? Email. Thank you. Okay, for this I don't need it. Let it be. I don't need it. The staff ID. If you want to regenerate, if you want to correct the styling, you can come to source and say format. Then it will format it for you. So all this now staff ID, I'm making it null. So that I'm clearing it, right? LGA because then what? Phone because then email because. So I think we have done all corrections and we don't have any error message. So let me run. Now Nathan, is that how your name is being spelled? Nathan? Please remove your own. Remove from the source. Remove from the source. 08050. Okay, I shouldn't use same. Okay, it's not same phone number. Or let me say 081 50 39 0221. And email, say nat at yahoo.com, for example. Let me pick Kafanchan for you. It says thank you. That means it has entered, and this. So you see now we're having a professional design. This is a professional something very okay. And you see the error that occurs here did not occur because we have amended the source code. I think okay, now let's execute the last thing here. If I click on this, there's something we can do right from the database here. I think let me quickly do it. I want to make this email to be unique. So let me quickly toss this. So email and phone number should be unique. The database should be capturing that for us. Let me quickly do something here. Okay, please come up here. Look at something. This email, right? This is what we call unique. I want it unique, so nobody could have something, right? And I want to make email unique. All right. So let me quickly drop this database. Sorry, the database, not the table. Drop database. Okay, I think it's dropped. I think it's been dropped. All right, it's been dropped. So please, you're going to see kind of something here. You have to save it first. You see one asterisk here. It tells you that changes have been done and not saved. You save the model, then you come to this for the engineer. Okay, come to the diagram. Don't on it yet. Wait for us to finish. Forward engineer it is being forward engineered. All right, now we're done, and to our source code, I've created this method and I didn't invoke it. All right, so come up here, invoke it here, so that whenever you know what we call invoke, you are making it active, right? It has been invoked here. So let's run it. And I think this is where we are going to stop. Let me use Abu Bakr Isa, for example. I'm going to use this number 0050390221. Email abu@gmail.com, right? Local government area. I click on register. It registers. Okay. If you check, you're going to see only one single record because I've truncated those. Can you see here? So now let's check whether the unique we have used is working correctly. Now if I click on this register again, can you see error? What is it? Or what is it at the end? Phone number unique. The uniqueness, because you made it unique, so the database will not allow. It won't allow duplication, because when I click again, it's like I wanted to duplicate, right? Duplication of the data capture. Then the next thing is okay, it's like oh, I'm wrong here. The method I created is not working, right? Yes. I'm wrong. Sorry. What I did, this implementation is not correct. I'm very sorry. Let me quickly correct it. So you must not necessarily make them something. Just call the txt name, okay, and set it right from source. Set it to null, okay, and call also staff number, staff ID. I mean, set it. Sorry, this is the correct implementation. I just recalled and I was thinking on something. LGA, txt LGA. txt, I did not see LGA. How did we call this LGA? What is the name? Okay, the LGA is not txt, it's a combo. So you set it to giving something. Dot set selected item. Dot set selected item. I think we said select, right? From the UI here, you're going to see it here. Can you see select LGA, right? Capital S and select LGA. Okay, what's next? Phone number, txt phone number, the set text. Okay, and then last one I think txt email. This is the one that is going to erase for you. I'm sorry. txt email. txt email, the step text. All right. So let me quickly run. So 08050390221. I just want to confirm that okay, 08050390221. What is the name? Ahmed, for example, at gmail.com. Alright, we're going to have an error, right? Local government not selected. Let me select Java. We do not use Java. Error because I used same phone number, right? Yes, I did it deliberately. So let me make it 082, for example, if it is available. Then it worked, right? So can you see immediately it has erased everything, right? Yes, it has erased everything, and that's what we wanted to do, and it has entered now. So this is how you do modeling. At the same time you modeling, sometimes you do your modeling if you know what if you have done a very good design for the application, carry out your modeling, then you start even though sometimes after the modeling is being done, when it comes to implementations, actually there's always this there's no time I would have done this now. So we capture the date. Please remind me, let me give it a red color here. When we resume back from Salah break, inshallah we'll continue from this now. And then here we want to create a QR code for the PSN. So please take this as an exercise or an assignment. How do we create a QR code